Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you. Wow, I think I was just really close to the camera in that, and I'm sorry. Today, we're going to be talking about something that happened at the beginning of like August, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. There is a situation with Cardi B and a popular online fat activist named Samira. I think I've talked about Samira in videos in passing before, but I've never like talked about her at length. And so we're going to be doing that today because I think it was a very interesting situation in terms of how fat activism is perceived by people who aren't in that side or corner of the internet on either side of the argument too, like either if you're for or against it. Like it really put into perspective for me like how much what I talk about on my channel is just not a part of everyday people's lives when it's such a big part of mine. And so I wanted to talk about that here. I know that I'm a bit late on it, but my dad was visiting when everything was happening. So I was kind of just keeping like a mental note in my head. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna be talking about today. So let's just get into it. But before we get into today's video, I want to thank today's video sponsor, AkiFlow. Now, AkiFlow is the ultimate productivity tool designed for busy professionals. Whether you're an entrepreneur or working in a corporate environment, or you're doing a little bit of both like I do. I have a full-time job and I do this. AkiFlow simplifies your life by seamlessly combining time blocking and integrations into one intuitive platform. Now, if you know me, you know that I have a bit of a spicy brain, which means that I can have a really hard time compartmentalizing tasks from a 9-to-5 job and YouTube. And I thought I had a pretty good system going, but then AkiFlow came into my life and I was like, wow, this is so much easier. AkiFlow simplifies time management by allowing users to block time directly on their calendar, which helps improve focus, minimize procrastination, which is a big issue for me, and it helps to enhance overall productivity. The universal inbox tool is so cool because it collects tasks from platforms like Gmail, Asana, Slack, and Notion, and it puts them all into one place for you to block out yourself. And the AI Copilot truly is a co-pilot because it will learn your user habits and make intelligent suggestions, auto-assign tasks based on individual preferences. The stats feature is also really cool because it'll show you how much time you spend doing certain kinds of tasks. And this really helps to identify room for improvement and to help you kind of tweak how you use your time so that you're working as efficiently as possible. Overall, as someone who spends so much time planning my days, weeks, and months to the point where planning tasks became a task itself, AkiFlow has been a game changer for me. And if you want to check out AkiFlow for yourself, be sure to use the link down below in my description to enhance your own productivity. Thank you so much to AkiFlow for being a continued sponsor on my channel. And as always, thank you to you guys for continuing to interact with my content and with the brands that sponsor me so that brands like AkiFlow want to keep coming back to work with me. All right, now let's just get back into the video. Okay, so rundown first. If you don't know who Samira is, she is, like I said, she is a very prominent fat activist creator on TikTok. I think she also has a pretty good platform on Instagram as well. And her whole shtick has been calling out, for better or for worse, certain fashion brands or like all fashion brands for their lack of size inclusivity, particularly in stores. For her, it's always a bad thing if plus sizes are only available online because she thinks that everybody should be able to go into the store and try things on to see if it works for them, which I inherently do not disagree with. As someone who grew up fat in the early 2000s, and a lot of the stores that I shopped at only carried plus sizes if they carried them at all online. I understand how frustrating it is to only be able to order things online and not be able to go try them on. I remember when I went to a Torrid for the first time, it was actually kind of game changing for me. It was just a very cool experience. But her issue is that sometimes, if not all of the time, a lot of the content that she makes about this is going into the stores themselves, asking employees for where their plus sizes are, if they sell them in store, and kind of like borderline harassing them about it when like they are just like minimum wage workers trying their best and it's like a corporate issue, not an individual employee issue. So yeah, first off, there's that. Secondly, if you don't know who Cardi B is, Cardi B is a Grammy Award winning rapper. And I have to be honest about my like my biases here. I love Cardi B. Okay. I have loved Cardi B since like her first album came out. I love Cardi B, and I like how even with all of her success, she has always remained unapologetically herself. And I think that kind of hurt her in this situation as well. And we'll get into that. But yeah, that's all you really need to know about Cardi B is that she is a Grammy Award winning rapper, huge fan base, very successful, all of that. So if you aren't chronically online like me and you don't know how these two women crossed paths on the internet, basically, Cardi B just put out her new album called Am I the Drama? And she was going live on, I think, Twitter. I refuse to call it X. And she was talking about these box sets that she had released before the release of her album. And it was like, it involved, I think, like a t-shirt and the album. But while she's opening a cup from Chick-fil-A that she had delivered, meaning she had Chick-fil-A delivered to her home, she was talking about how that her and her team underestimated the want for the box sets and how the box sets with like the 3XL had sold out really quickly. She made a joke saying like, no more Chick-fil-A for you guys. Like, she basically made a fat joke to her fans watching about how they need to stop eating Chick-fil-A because they sold out the 3XL sizing so quickly. Okay.
But anyways, so what I wanted to tell y'all was that let me just open now. Oh, Jesus Christ. What I wanted to tell y'all is that we really underestimated the box sets. So the box sets are completely sold out, especially because you fat fucks, clearly you guys are fat as fuck. No Chick-fil-A for y'all. All the 3X sold out. Yo, the 3X sold out like in 20 minutes. Now, knowing that my fans is fat, I can't even make fun of fat people no more. Don't call me fat phobic, y'all, because everybody make fun of my BBL. So don't be, y'all. I could body shame people because y'all body shame me. If y'all body shame me, I could body shame y'all. This is a body shaming. This is a body shaming space. This is a body shaming shit. This is a body shaming space. You can talk about my body and I talk about yours. So it doesn't matter. If I call you fat, it's not a big deal. You can talk about my BBL all day, but I haven't talked about you being fat all day. But anyways, I don't hold the point. The point, God damn, what the fuck is wrong with this? My life is messed up, the lit is messed up. The point is, God damn it.
And that was that. Honestly, if you weren't watching that live stream, which I wasn't, you probably would not have known about this whole situation. Then Samira decided to insert herself into this and accuse Cardi B of being fat phobic.
I don't know if my eyes and ears are deceiving me because I just woke up, but I know I did not just see a video of Cardi B talking about she was surprised that her 3X sold out and that her fat fans are just big as hell and shouldn't have no Chick-fil-A. And now she can't make fun of fat people no more because she knows she got fat fans because the 3XL sold out. Didn't you do a song with Lizzo? Didn't you perform at Lizzo? I just know I must be tripping.
Look, if this is what gets us to finally talk about artist merch and the lack of consideration for plus size fans, then so be it. Because the number of times that I have attended concerts and not been able to purchase a lick of merch is a problem. And it wasn't because they had sold out. It's because nobody considers plus size fans. And of course, access to plus size clothing is a problem everywhere. But it truly does baffle me, especially in music, because do you think plus size people don't listen to your songs? Like, do you really think you don't have plus size fans? fans. And you know, it's not just merch. It's also like any clothing collabs that artists do. They never consider their plus size fans. Everything stops at an XL or an XXL, which is not a plus size. Go to Google before you comment something silly. But like, yeah, it's just a complete lack of consideration. And then when you do attempt to have a 3XL, which is also not a plus size, again, Google is free. And then you go and pair it with fat phobic comments like the ones Cardi B made. It's really just like, even when you think you're being considered, you're not. And all that said, it's not that hard to have plus size merch. And it's also not that hard to not be fat phobic.
And I think a lot of the general sentiment was like, it's not that deep. Because also the thing about Cardi B is she was born and raised in New York, okay? As far as I know. And I just know from other people that I know who were born and raised in New York, New York City, okay? You have such a different kind of humor that you are raised with that, like, I genuinely think Cardi B was joking about this. And a lot of people were like, fat people shouldn't be the butt of the joke. That's like part of the problem, blah, blah, blah. I can understand that sentiment, but I think this all just comes down to the whole, like, it's not that serious aspect of it. And the thing was Cardi B, after Samira called her out, commented on another video that wasn't even a Samira video, basically saying like, people make fun of my BBL all the time, people are commenting on my body all the time, like, why can't I make a joke about this with my fans who knew it was a joke? That was like Cardi's whole thing, was like, her fans knew it was a joke. It was a joke between her and her fans on Twitter. And that people always are commenting on her body, so why can't she do that about other people? Which I can understand that frustration too. Like, constantly being a woman in that big of a spotlight would be so incredibly difficult, because it's like you can't win no matter what you look like, what you're doing, whatever. So then Samira responded to that comment that wasn't even on one of her videos with this.
Cardi B, I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but just because someone else makes a joke doesn't mean you have to make it too. You know that, right? And also, maybe the reason why people feel so comfortable making fun of your BBL is because you do not command the respect that you so seek. Maybe if you stop using fat people at the expense of jokes, then people wouldn't do the same for your BBL. No, they shouldn't be making fun of your BBL. But also, no, you shouldn't be making fun of fat people. And neither should they. But if you are going to sit here and still say it's not that serious and offer a cupcake in the camera to anybody who is so upset by it, well, I'm going to offer you a few books that I recommend for you to understand why fat phobia is something so serious and something that should not be taken lightly and something that should not be joked about, especially by someone as powerful as you. You are powerful. You are talented. And I am happy that your 3XL merch sold out. I am happy that you now see that you have fat fans. But if you would like to keep those fat fans, please consider unlearning fat phobia and standing up for them instead of standing against them.
Mind you, up until this point, besides that comment, Cardi B had not directly acknowledged Samira at all, okay? And so then she finally did, okay? And in this video, she basically says the same thing, like, it's a joke. It was a joke between me and my fans. Like, it's not that serious. I'm not gonna apologize for it. She told people who were mad, here's a cupcake for your hurt feelings, and basically moved on, right?
Oh my gosh. So I have like a whole bunch of people crying, talking about I'm fat phobic and stuff, because I don't know, on Twitter, it was like a joke between me and my fans on like, damn, you fat motherfuckers, why y'all bought all the 3X that fast? It was an innocent joke between me and my fans. But anyways, it's not that serious. And especially when it comes to me, I make fun of everybody. I don't give a fuck if you're fat, skinny, BBL down, got big feet, got small feet, whatever. As long as you don't stink, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? It's never that serious. Like, don't cry about it. Listen, people make fun of my BBL all the time. if we're gonna be using these phobic words and everything, then I'm gonna do a BBL phobic word, because I get fun of more of having a BBL than you probably may get fun of being big. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that serious, girl. Like, if you, it got to the point that, like, when people would talk shit about my body, I don't even care no more. You wanna know why? Because I'm content with how I look, and I'm not laying in that table no more. I'm 33 and I'm old as fuck, and I got shit to do. I can't take 2 months off no more. I can't take 2 months off no more because I got surgery, and like I gotta wear a faja for like 6 months. If I got y'all so upset, here's a cupcake. I'm not gonna apologize though, because y'all fucking sensitive and wanna cry about some dumb shit. Every day y'all wanna cry about some fucking dumb shit. Shit, I'm gonna cry every single time I wear a fucking leotard. Because every time I wear a leotard, y'all want to talk about my hips and my ass. Okay, like it's not that serious, girl. Like, it's not that serious. Like, don't pay attention to me. Okay, I'm like one of them old school people that just make fun of everything. I make fun of everybody. Shit, I make fun of myself. I make fun of my own motherfucking kids. I make fucking fun of my own mama. I make fun of my own daddy. I make fun of my damn fucking self. Bitch, my man probably can't even stand me. I make fun of him all the time too. So just don't cry, okay? Shit.
And then I don't know if the cupcake video came before or after this, but she also stitched of Samira's video recommending the books and everything, basically being like, girl, shut the fuck up.
Cardi B, I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but just because...
Girl, shut the fuck up. God damn, shut up already. Like, it's not that serious. Not everything is revolutionary. Not everything has to have a crazy outrage. I already did a video. I told you it's not that serious. Like, what do you want me to do? Get on my fucking knees and apologize? I'm not apologizing for a fucking jokey joke. That it wasn't even about you. It was something about me and my fans. Like, that's it. I don't care. I'm not apologizing. I'm not getting on my knees. No, I'm not reading a book. No, I'm not nothing. You see, like, sometimes when people are being genuine, y'all don't like when people are being genuine. Because I genuinely did a video like, hey, it's not that serious. I make fun of everybody. I even make fun of myself. I don't really care if you skinny, if you big, if you that, if you this. I always use anybody as the butt of the joke, like, all the time. Like, it ain't never to hurt nobody. Like, it's like, people make fun of me all the time. I got to the point that I don't even care anymore, because it's like, who cares? Love yourself. If you're content with yourself, you don't give a fuck what anybody gotta say. It's like what? Like, if you're part of my family, bitch, you will be crying. You will be crying. They make fun of everything and everybody. Like, it doesn't matter. And then it's like, when you push, it makes people remember, like, you know what? Eat one. Like, it's like, no, it's not good enough. No, it's not this. You want a fake apology? You want a fake I'm sorry? You want a fake kissing ass? You want a fucking fake gift basket? Girl, like, calm down. Calm your pussy. Now you pissing me the fuck off. And now you're going to make me really say some rude shit for no reason. Or because I did a video. I already explained it. I'm not giving you a fake apology. I'm not getting on fake on my knees. I'm not fake doing nothing. That's the reason why y'all be expecting too much. I'm not your mom. I'm not nothing. I'm not nothing. My fans didn't feel offended. My fans were actually making the jokes with me about themselves. What the hell? Whatever the fuck you got going on with yourself, how you feel about yourself, girl, don't put that on me.
And I just thought it was so funny because, like, I don't know. So we'll get into thoughts and everything. I'm just giving a rundown. All right. So that happened. And then in some point of all of this, Samira's mom came on, like, crying, defending Samira.
To my daughter, Samira. I came from an event, and to see how being bullied and treated online really hurt me. I'm so sorry that the world is so cruel. I love you. You are perfect to me, and you deserve a love and respect. Mommy loves you and always going to be your biggest defender and your biggest protector.
it makes sense with the size of Cardi's platform. On social media, people were going to Samira and dogpiling on her, which we'll talk about. And so Samira's mom came on the internet like crying and talking about how great Samira is and whatever. At some point, Cardi B did apologize to Samira's mom because she recognized like that was an issue, the fact that her mom felt the need to come on and defend her daughter. And Cardi B is a mom and she's also pregnant again. And so I think that's why. But Samira never got an apology from Cardi B. Okay. She stood like 10 toes down on this, that it was a joke, and she's not apologizing to Samira for this. Basically, Cardi B made like one final thing talking about it.
Okay, so this will be the last time that I address this topic, because now I'm getting on this app, and this app is not even fun anymore. Like, it's like I'm getting on this app to watch ASMR, and I'm getting attacked from left to right. So this will be the last video that I make on this. The fact that I was making a joke between me and my fans was joking on Twitter how they sold out the 3X large shirts. And my fans was like, damn, us already getting big. Damn, we can never make big jokes no more because we big, blah, blah, blah. So, I made an open form joke with them because it's supposed to be funny. And, this woman, she inserted herself in the joke. You know what I'm saying? She did 5 videos talking about the joke, and people just chimed in, and it became a big mess. So I did a video and I said, hey, this was not to hurt your feelings. This was a joke between me and my fans. I always make anybody the butt of the jokes. I make fun of everybody, like everybody. I don't care if you skinny. I don't care if you big. I don't care about nothing. Like, it's not that serious. And the video still wasn't good enough. Now you're recommending me, since the video wasn't good enough for you, you're recommending me to go read a fat phobic book. And it's like, baby girl, I'm not going to take 5 or 6 hours of my day to read a book about fat phobia when I could take 5 or 6 hours of my day to watch a documentary and see how the government successfully killed thousands of people just so they could migrate them out their space to gentrify the community they were born in, and educate myself on how can they do this again, because history repeats itself. I'd rather do that. Now, I am not going to give an apology. And you want to know why I'm not going to give an apology? Because I wasn't insulting you. And if I'm giving you an apology, it will be fake and forced. And you wouldn't want somebody to give you something that is forced and is not coming from the heart. I genuinely did my first video to tell you that I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. This was something between my fans that you inserted yourself in. That was genuine. If I say sorry, it's not going to be genuine. It's not going to be real, because I didn't intend to insult you or insult anybody. There has been 300, like, can you believe that there's like 300 videos about this topic when there's so many things going on in this world? There's so many things going on in this country. I can't even believe that I made 3 videos in 1 week about this topic. It's not a big deal. It's really not. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. Yes, I understand fat phobia. Some people have body dysmorphia. There's a lot of people that have body dysmorphia. When I was a little girl, when I was young, I used to hate that I had a flat ass. And it used to depress me. It used to depress me that I had a flat ass. What are we going to do about it? And then on top of that, in the real world, when somebody insults you, you cannot make them give you an apology. And they're not going to. The real world, when you go outside, when you touch grass. TikTok and stuff, maybe you could force somebody to give you an apology and make you feel better and get on their knees and be like, I apologize. And to your mom, ma'am, I am a mother and I'm sorry that you feel that way about this situation. It shouldn't have gotten this far. Maybe that's why your daughter shouldn't have made 6 videos about it. To the point that people start picking on me and trying to hurt my feelings. But I'm not going to let nobody hurt my feelings. I don't care. I apologize to you because you're a mom. And I don't want to bring no tears to no mom ever. So I'm apologize to you. Maybe this situation could be solved a different way. But I'm not giving an apology. And I'm not reading a book about fat phobia, bro. I understand. I get it. But it's just that. I really wish that by today this topic gets laid to rest, because it's ridiculous and it's gonna be a revolving topic. If making fun of me make y'all feel better, if calling me all type of illiterate, all type of BBLs, all type of my butt, all type of this make y'all feel better, then go ahead, do that. I didn't mean to offend nobody. So if y'all feel like y'all gotta offend me to make yourself feel better, then do that. I didn't mean to hurt nobody's feelings neither. If y'all feel like hurting my feelings was gonna make y'all feel better, then do that. But one thing about it is, this not gonna keep being a topic.
And then she also put like a text post up on TikTok saying, I promise you guys I'm not going live no more on social media unless it's about my music. I have so many different things going on in my personal life, and I cannot allow this app to also take a toll on my mental health. Y'all have taken an innocent joke with my fans and used it as an excuse where y'all are insulting me every which way and saying the nastiest things about me, all in the name of pushing your narrative. I could take my publicist's advice and just apologize, but that wouldn't be authentic to myself. I wasn't trying to insult anybody or hurt anybody's feelings at all. I promise you, I don't care how anyone looks. I only care how you carry yourself as a person. I hope you guys accomplish whatever it is you were looking to accomplish. Thank you so much. And then around the same time, Samira ultimately decided to take a break from social media, and she made a text post saying, when I spoke about Cardi B's fatphobic comments, I did so respectfully with the hope of encouraging her to think about the impact of her words on her plus-size fans. Her choice to respond by telling me to shut the fuck up and to call my pussy was vulgar. I'm sorry. It's not, it is kind of funny. Was vulgar, dismissive, and escalated the issue entirely. I am no stranger to fatphobic harassment in my comments and DMs, but Cardi B's direct comments towards me have encouraged a new level. By speaking to me in that way publicly, she once again signaled to millions of people that this kind of language and violence towards fat women is acceptable. Saying this was violence is a choice. She said, I still stand by everything I said in that video, especially her being talented and powerful. I truly do wish the best for her. However, for my own peace, I'll be taking a small step back from posting for a while as I focus on my mental health. Make no mistake, I will never stop advocating for plus-size people to be treated with dignity and respect. And so that was all kind of what happened. What I thought was really interesting was the discourse that happened around this whole situation on the internet as a whole. I don't support, obviously, any kind of dogpiling on a creator for like one opinion that you don't agree with, right? I've been subject to that a little bit and it's not fun. I don't support that at all. And I think when I was talking about Cardi B and how she uses social media and how she's always remained herself, I think it's to the point where like maybe she doesn't understand like the impact of her words on people and like the parasocial relationships that do form with especially musicians and their fans, and how if fans of hers saw people coming for her because of things that Samira was saying, how she didn't understand maybe that those fans who didn't like that she was getting criticism would go then and be 10 times more critical and hateful to Samira, right? I also thought this was really interesting too, like I said in the beginning. And what I think this was kind of like a result of was fat activism and how it exists on TikTok and all of that not being recognized as like a big issue in like real life, in other people's lives who are not in that corner of the internet, right? And I think it was just very interesting to see how people who were in that corner of the internet were talking about this, and how people who were not in that corner of the internet, and people like me who are critical of that side of the internet, were like Samira, you inserted yourself into this. You did not have to talk about this. Like, you didn't have to talk about this. Does that mean that people have the right to go be awful to her? Absolutely not. But she did choose to start this conversation, okay? And also a lot of people were like, hey, if you don't like how you're being treated as a fat person in the world, in society, you don't like when clothes don't fit you in store, you can do something about that. Like, you can do something about it, which is kind of how I look at everything, the fat activism too. Do I think there's some nuance there because you can't just like drop 100 pounds or like 2 dress sizes overnight? Yes. Ultimately, there is something you can change about that. You can do something about it if it's truly making you that unhappy, right? A lot of conversations also started around, is Samira actually an activist? Okay. I think this is a very interesting topic with any kind of fat activism creator, because this group of people are called the fat activism movement, fat acceptance movement. It's kind of inherently propping them up as an activist of some kind, right? Is she an activist when literally all she does is go into like an Old Navy and harass the minimum wage worker there that they don't carry her size in store? Is that activism? And I think that's an interesting conversation. I saw someone compare her to Malcolm X. I'll include that clip here.
Then y'all go to Samira's page and say things like, it gets to a point. Why are you always talking about the same thing? Y'all would have hated Malcolm X. Going to the page of someone who has only ever said that they are here to fight for the inclusivity of a group, and then being surprised when they do that doesn't make her weird. It makes you weird. If Brother Malcolm was alive, or if TikTok had existed back then, do you think he would have spoken about anything other than Black liberation? Let's be serious.
Drawing that comparison is like ludicrous to me. It's astounding to me. I get where they're coming from with saying like all they do is talk about the same thing over and over and over again, and like how people on the internet now see that as like kind of cringy, but like that's kind of what activism is as an activist. Drawing the comparison between Samira and Malcolm X is fucking crazy. Because the thing about Malcolm X and the thing about like Martin Luther King Jr. is, yes, they did talk about the same thing over and over and over again, but that's because it was actually a genuine systemic problem that needed to be talked about and needed to be rectified and was actively harming people, okay, like physically. They were putting their lives on the line. Like by making themselves so outspoken publicly in a time where that was seen as not okay, they were putting themselves on the line, they were putting their families on the line. Whereas Samira goes on, makes her video talking shit about anthropology, and then like leaves and goes and makes music and goes and gets brand deals and gets like flown out places by brands, which is great. I love seeing people make it like that. I'm not dogging on that at all. Samira does her activism on TikTok, and in my mind, I don't think it's putting her in any kind of danger. I don't think it's putting her in any kind of harm's way. Malcolm X, since that's who we're talking about, was literally putting his life on the line. That's the difference. So let's not go comparing Samira to Malcolm X. Okay, like I just don't get that comparison. Am I a white person? Yes. Do I maybe not have all of the authority to speak on that? Absolutely. But like, I just can't draw that comparison in my brain at all. If anything, if we're talking about activism in terms of like things that actually need activist movement behind it, I think Cardi B is more of an activist than Samira is. She spoke at Kamala Harris rallies. She was very outspoken on social media during the election and has been very outspoken on social media about other issues. There are issues that are actively harming people, like causing people to not be alive anymore. So if anything, I personally think that in some ways, Cardi B is more of an activist than Samira is. Personally. But also that comes with Cardi B having a larger platform than Samira does. Because like I said, I don't support the dogpiling that happened to Samira either, because of the sheer size of Cardi B's platform compared to Samira's. Like I said, Cardi B is a Grammy award-winning rapper who had a fan base before she won any awards, okay? Because she was on reality TV shows, other people just knew her in the rap community before then, so she had a fan base before her first album, Invasion of Privacy, came out. But also, speaking of my friend Sam at Every Size, okay, I distinctly remember a time, I think it was last year, I can't honestly remember, where Samira called Sam at Every Size out online. Keep in mind, Samira's platform is or was bigger, like by a huge margin, than Sam's at the time. So then Samira's fans went and dogpiled on Sam, okay? And I remember when Sam was going through that, and I remember it not being a good time for her, okay? And that's not the first time Samira has done this with other creators. I can't help but also think that Samira was kind of getting a taste of her own medicine here by starting an issue, by inserting herself into an issue that did not exist. I saw it and I was like, this is what we're mad about. This is what we were mad about this whole time. I saw the clip from the live and I was like, this was it. Okay. A lot of people were defending Samira. A lot of people said that she went to Harvard and she's educated, and like, you are like downplaying this argument that she has like education in talking about and blah, blah, blah.
Samira has a degree in sociology from Harvard University, and some of y'all are just trying to reduce her to being a rage baiter and a TikToker. Some of y'all just don't have the range. I mean, she could leave social media entirely and she would still be exactly who she says he is, and some of y'all would just be on here still talking. The truth is, a lot of y'all don't have the credentials or the qualifications to really step into some of the conversations that you're attempting to have. You want to be on equal footing with somebody like her, and now, what, you're going to call me classes? Well, you was being fat phobic. I mean, all the isms is cool. And by no means am I saying she's better than anybody at all. No. But I am saying that there are reasons why certain people can cause a ruckus with what they say and other people can't. Some of y'all will come on here and say the exact same thing and nobody would even see the video. Samira and Cardi B both are going to continue thriving after this because they've had light placed on them. They have a special gift. People actually listen to what they say and they kind of accomplish things that they want to accomplish. They don't just sit around talking about things all the time. I just wanted y'all to know that some of y'all are getting really invested in two people that are thriving, that are going to continue to thrive, you know?
Being college educated means something, but it also means nothing all at the same time. I have a degree. I went to college, okay? I didn't go to Harvard. I went to art school, but I have a degree, but it was like a liberal art school. So like I took a bunch of other classes outside of my concentration in like all the different subjects that one studies in college, right? Like I have a degree. Having a degree doesn't stop you from having incorrect opinions. There's a lot of people with degrees that a lot of people don't agree with. Yeah, and I saw a lot of people saying that. I saw a lot of people saying like, I saw one being like, if a makeup brand came out and all of the darker foundation shades sold out and they were like, you guys need to stop going in the sun because all of our darker foundation shades sold out, like that would be seen so much differently.
Was selling makeup and all the darker skin foundations sold out first, and she got on here and said, damn, y'all black as fuck, y'all need to stay out the sun. Would we still find it funny? Would the jokes still be in the room with us? All right, because those type of jokes punch down on marginalized communities, correct? Right. We know that those type of jokes lead to oppression, dehumanization, public shaming, and bullying, just like how y'all are doing with Samira right now, right? And God forbid that pushes her into a dark place. And for all the fat ass big back bitches I was talking about, oh, I'm fat and I found it funny, get some self-respect, please. I'm begging you, because that wasn't a joke. She was very serious. She has literally risked her life on the table to not look like you. Has been under the knife more than a Thanksgiving turkey to not look like you. And I'm not gonna lie, Samira kind of clocked her teeth when she said she don't respect herself, because she doesn't. I can't respect her. Her ex-husband and father of her 2 kids doesn't even respect her. Just finished the interview disrespecting the fuck out of her, and he didn't even say her name. But y'all knew this already. Y'all just want to get on here and be ignorant, and that's okay. That's your prerogative to be ignorant. But don't get on here telling other people what is and isn't important and what is or isn't revolutionary, because clearly self-love and self-respect is very revolutionary to y'all, because it's very clear to me that y'all have none.
And like, yes, that would be seen so much differently because people can't change the color of their skin. People can change the size of their body. Is it hard? Yes, it's so hard. And I'm not discrediting that at all. I had someone when I was like super young make the comparison of me being fat to racism that some of my friends faced because they were black in like a small predominantly white town. And I was like, even at age like 13, I was like, no. Like, that's not the same thing at all.
Okay, here's the thing, right? If y'all want to go ahead and side with Samira and say that Cardi B was being fat phobic, even though I feel like everybody with a brain knows that she wasn't, then okay. But I've been seeing people come up here and saying, oh, well, what if Cardi B had a makeup brand and she said, oh, the darkest of the dark, blackest people keep selling on my brand? Okay. what we're not going to do is compare the two, because I can't control how dark I am. You can control how big you get. Not to mention that 3X, I think, to me, is very size inclusive. I mean, I think that's a warning sign if they don't have your size. So please, please let us not compare the two. Thank you.
I will say this, a lot of the discourse that I saw was surrounding like fat phobia in the Black community. And from my talking to people and online reading and research and things like that, I understand that fatness in the Black community is looked at a lot differently than fatness in the white community. And so that's not something that I really I feel like I'm educated enough to speak on. If like a Black person came up to me, or a Black woman came up to me being like, I've experienced fat phobia, it was worse because I was Black, I'm not gonna be like, actually, no. Like I'm not gonna do that, because that's not my place. I understand how those two things can work against each other in society, or how being fat and Black and also a woman can all work together to make society more against you, right? And so I was seeing some conversations around fat phobia in the Black community. Do I think some of the conversations that started because of this were actually like kind of interesting? Sure. But do I think it had to be this deep on either side, on either fandom side? I do not. I don't think it had to be that deep on Cardi B's side. I don't think it had to be that deep on Samira's side. Do I think Samira ultimately decided to open up this conversation? Yes, she did. And that, going back to her being a Harvard educated woman, it's like, yeah, she's smart. Like because she's also a musician. She's a very talented singer. And I couldn't help but be a little bit pessimistic and to think if she was using this whole situation as a way to get more people to her music, and it kind of backfired. And so I can't help but think that this was like maybe a calculated move that just backfired. But yeah, I really don't think it had to be this big of a deal on either side. I understand honestly where either side was coming from, because as someone who looked up to a lot of like women, a lot of female singers growing up, if my favorite female singer made that joke about someone my size at the time, I don't know if it would have hurt me. I mean, I'm fat and I didn't think there was an issue with it. And I saw a lot of people being like, I'm fat, and I thought it was funny. I do understand, like, for the girls, like younger girls who watch her, who like look up to her, how that could be hurtful. But also Cardi B has come out and said, like, my music's not for kids. Like, it's just not, which it shouldn't be, okay? I don't know. I understand like both sides, but I really just don't think it was that deep to begin with. And I don't think it was necessary for Samira to insert herself into it. But I also think maybe Cardi B's like unwillingness to look at the situation as a whole could also be criticized, and like how even just saying that with that large of a platform could be inherently harmful to how fat people are viewed. I understand that, because like I say in my videos all the time, I understand where fat activists come from saying that fat people are just inherently treated differently in society, because I've experienced that. Yeah, I don't know. This was a tough one for me because I don't really have like a side. I just kind of wanted to talk about it. Do you think it was that deep? Let me know down below in the comments. And do you think this needed to happen at all? Who do you think is more right here? I don't know. Just let me know. I'm really tired. I have not been feeling well like all month. And so I had an outline for this video. It was also kind of just a shower thoughts video, like a lot of my videos have been recently. The Kendra video is coming. The girl who fell in love with her psychiatrist, that's coming. That's scripted. And the Girl World Catch-Up is also coming in October. I know I said I would do it in September, but your girl was like sick all month, so that did not happen. But yeah, let me know what you think down below in the comments about this whole situation. And thank you to AkiFlow for sponsoring today's video. And as always, thank you so much to you guys. And yeah, remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, drink your water, take your meds if you need them, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.